everybody. Welcome to Aspirants Hub and welcome to this series called The Answer Behind the Rank, where we are learning objective parameters with respect to answer writing. So, we have seen all the basic objective parameters with respect to answer writing in our previous videos. So, there is a playlist with almost 9 to 10 videos. Please go and watch those videos first. Okay. So, after that, we started with subject specific approaches and we are on GS paper 1. And with respect to this paper, we have completed the approach for the history segment, which covers modern Indian history, world history, post independence consolidation. We have also covered the approach for art and culture. In today's video, we will quickly see the approach for society. So let us get started. Now, when we look at the society questions, so questions are mostly based on current affairs. We know this, right? And when you read the question also, it seems very, very generic. And we tend to write generic answer, and that is where we lose out on marks. So we have to understand that we need to write society specific, objective, concise, coherent answer. Okay. So there are a few elements which we will see. See, these elements are not just for society paper, they hold good across all the papers, any subject. But there are certain things which I want to highlight. Please mark this in the notes that you're making. Okay. Mark the keywords that I'm focusing on. So, first, writing crisp definition of topics, mostly in the introduction. Here, you'll focus on the word crisp. So, with all the topics given in the syllabus, society syllabus, for example, social empowerment on women, then you'll have various stakeholders. When you consider social empowerment, you have the transgenders, you have the tribals, etc. Then you have topics like secularism, regionalism, communalism. So with respect to these topics, please prepare very, very crisp definitions. Okay. So first thing, now talking about the body. So when you read the question, you will clearly identify what the question is asking and accordingly make subheadings. Okay. So under each subheading, you'll write your pointers. Here, when you're writing your pointers and using value addition points to justify it, with respect to first examples, always make sure that you incorporate good examples from current affairs. Okay. And with respect to all the topics from the syllabus, make sure you have good statistics and the data pointers along with the reports or the source from which you have derived that data pointer. Okay. So this will make your society answers look very, very objective and your answers will not look generic. That is the first thing. Second thing is, we know this, that adding value addition pointers to justify our arguments make our arguments look reasonable. So two objectives will be accomplished. Okay. Next is the way forward element, and the last we have is conclusion. So everything is understood, nothing fancy here with respect to way forward. But one important thing you will have to remember is, for example, if you have topics like regionalism, communalism, here always make sure that you add constitutional perspectives and dimension in your answers as well. Okay, we'll take one question next and we'll see how to write that question. So there again, I'll explain this point. Okay. So we have this question, distinguish between religiousness and religiosity and communalism, giving one example of how the former has got transformed into the latter in independent India. Okay, so now first talking about the introduction. When you read the first line, you'll find two keywords. That is religiousness, religiosity is our first keyword. Second keyword is communalism. So while writing introduction, both the keywords should be there in the introduction itself. Okay. And if you read the question further, giving one example. So here itself, you will give one example each. What is religiosity? What is communalism? Example. Okay. Now we'll read the question again. Distinguish between religiousness, religiosity, and communalism, giving one example. So we have to focus on this word, the directive word, that is distinguish. So when you start your body, the first and the foremost thing you'll write is distinction between these two terms. You'll make a table and write the distinction can write around 3 to 4 pointers, okay, because we have further aspects of the question that we need to address as well, okay. Now the next is how the former has got transformed into the latter in independent India. So that will be our next dimension, that how religiosity transformed into communalism. So you will mention various reasons and substantiate it, and always make sure that here you will bring out various dimensions to justify your argument, okay. Now you will write the way forward pointer, give 2 to 3 practical suggestions that can really be implemented or that is solution oriented, along with constitutional provisions to solve the problem, and then you will end your answer with a conclusion, okay. So I hope this video helps. If you have any doubts, please feel free to post it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much. All the very best.